why go to the gym anyway? Imagine being paid free. Today's topic is the Yin Yang of strength training. My name is Batista and I am the co-founder of the International Institute of Body Design. I'm a #1 best-selling author of Feminine Body Design, Empowering Fitness for a Pain-Free Life, and I am also the co-host of the Esoteric Principles of Bodybuilding. We all have male-female energies, men and women. You know, the right brain, the left brain.
The energy that flows here is male and female energy. Male energy is focused, and female energy is creative and random. Neither of them is greater nor weaker than the other, and both can be extremely powerful when fully manifested. One big difference between the two is that male energy looks at parts, and female energy looks at wholes. Male energy is linear, analytical, strategic, and practical. However, when male energy is constricted, it is very blundering and confrontational, and what tends to occur is not seeing all sides of a situation, or not being open to any other possibility other than the one being pursued. Female energy, on the other hand, moves in curves. It does not stay inside the lines. It is creativity and movement, and expression and emotion. It can do anything and go anywhere, but it has trouble sticking to schedule. If constricted, it can get out of its flow, running rampant between emotions and mood swings and ideas. The creativity could get jumbled and come out as an out-of-control mess. We don't have this widespread issue in today's society, and it has a lot to do with our brain hemispheres.
Here is the male brain, and here is the female brain. So in a male brain, it has a small connective tissue which transmits thoughts and feelings separately. That means the person either thinks or feels. That's usually a normal male, and he has testosterone in his body. And here we have a female brain, left to right, and also left-handed men. They have a large connective tissue between left and right side, and they're able to think and feel simultaneously. The difference is when it comes to a female, she has estrogen, so all movement in the body for a female is caused by her emotions. So what happens is women, because they have this large connective tissue, they can go between left and right side of the brain at a split second. So that means that they could be in their feelings and having a good time, and in a split second they can go back to their thinking side. Right-handed males don't have that ability. If they want to stay in their maleness, they need to be able to solve problems, to think clearly. They can't really jump from their feelings to their thinking, because in their feeling side, there's no talking. It's a silent world. So it affects us in many different ways. When men are artists, they're in their female. They're feeling things. When women are artists, they create in their intellectual mind, and it comes out as a feeling. So if males want to take their power, they need to understand that being in their feelings at the same time as trying to be in their thinking doesn't really do the job. If we look at the human body, neck up, we all have that in us, male and female energy. Neck up is logic and money, or thinking, and neck down has to do with feelings and exercise.
So what happens is a woman, when she gets to be about 40 and up, the hormones start changing.
Okay.
And we start producing more progesterone. So think about it. We now are producing more male hormones. And when you think about it, you know, we are entrepreneur, business women. We have to take care of the family, the children, the husband, significant other, or whatever. So we continuously are running more male energy. Male energy is giving, doing, performance, competing. Female energy is receiving, feeling.
So what happens when women or men come to my office through 45 years of experience, I find out, and it's quantifiable, that their strength level for the female has gone down to almost 30%. So, what does that mean? It creates an emotional person, one that overreacts to situations without thinking. And then there's the other part of a female that appears very strong, where she goes up inside her head intellectually and cuts off her body.
Like women get stuck in their mind from work, from problems, from family issues, and women's brains are actually different than men's brains. That keeps them sometimes, often actually these days, stuck in their heads.
It's simply a known fact that that thinking process stays on 24 hours a day. They impede their immune system, and it leads to some serious consequences. So wrongfully, men perceive women as being strong or smart. Yes, they are, no doubt about it. There are gifts. But what happens is, when women drop their strength level to 30%, there's a lot of dysfunction or could possibly be medical disease setting into the body. And the woman starts to either lose too much weight and gets emancipated, gets too thin, which weak bones, possibility for osteoporosis, or the woman gains a tremendous amount of weight.
The warning signs are trying to be strong, trying to be perfect, trying harder, pleasing others, hurry up, and no time. Do you find that some of your clients are kind of acting like that?
Yeah, actually, I have a way in which I can look at where a person's energy is, whether it's in the physical, emotional, mental, physical, or whatever. And most women I found are living in their emotional body. So they're really not connected to their physical body at all, which means that a lot of things. One, that because they're not grounded, they can have an accident very easily. They're going to forget things. They're going to get brain fog, all sorts of different symptoms. So yes, this is really important, particularly for women, is to go to the gym and let that energy be dissipated out of their bodies.
At least we don't deal with repressed feelings, and it people think, oh, it's just a feeling. I can't see it, so it really doesn't exist, right? It's just a figment of my imagination. But just, I can't emphasize enough, feelings and thoughts are physical properties. They're energy.
Yes.
They're a specific frequency of energy. And when you don't deal with it, and it comes from within you, it gets stored within you somewhere in your body. And I don't know exactly how the certain type of feelings, and I hear different stories, certain type of feelings get stored in certain parts of your body. Like, for example, women who are not comfortable with receiving often store that in their breasts. Why breast cancer is such a high level of, supposedly a high level of increase in breast cancer, is because they're not allowing them to be their feminine energy of receiving. They're not comfortable with receiving, and they're always giving. Like the people who play martyr and they give too much, they give all the time. A lot of them end up with breast cancer, and they connect the dots there like, oh, that's silly, that's not science, but is it, or is it not?
You see, out there in the spiritual world, you have a lot of books, you have a lot of therapists, you've got a lot of chiropractors, you got this whole conglomerate of people, and especially for women, they're looking how to be spiritually balanced. Or you hear they have to have a positive mindset. Well, women's brains usually work a little bit different. When you're saying to a woman, I need you to have a more positive attitude, it sounds like a good idea, but that's a very guy expression, because their emotions will rule it out if there's any interference in their family or their place of work where they feel uncomfortable.
So what happens is, in fitness, it's performance-based. It's all male energy-based. It's about competing, doing more than you can, no pain, no gain, so think about it. Now you are running a lot of male energy just to get through the day, and now you want to get in shape. So now the person is going to hire a personal trainer that's going to, come on, do more.
More male energy.
More male energy. So there's a really big imbalance that happens in the body. And when that happens, the immune system breaks down, and disease sets in.
When women stay in their mind 24 hours a day, they create an unhealthy condition that weakens their immune system. So when they go to the gym and they're doing the treadmills and they're forcing their body, or they're hiring a personal trainer, they're continuing that destruction. So in prescription strength training, we create the bridge so women get out of their thinking process and back into their center of universe where the chakras are all lined up properly, and they learn to waltz with their body. They learn to do exquisite movements just like in dance. You can dance with your body, but if you just go in aimlessly and hit different pieces of equipment, you are in your male, so that's very destructive. It means your body can never rest. Men don't understand that. Women keep on going till they get sick. They need to have a program that executes exercise in a fashion that produces a calm and peacefulness in their body.
Well, it's also about feeling too. I mean, I know that when I worked out in power yoga and with Pilates, that my trainers would push me through my abs. I'd say, I don't feel good, or I don't like this. And they'd say, well, it's just because your muscles are weak, keep going, keep going, keep going. And that's not the truth at all. It had to do with the angle that I was working out with, and the way they had no sense of ergonomics necessarily in certain exercises. So that created bad feelings and pain. And the method was, work through bad feelings and pain rather than to listen to your body.
That's fabulous explanation.
Females, when they're younger, especially the generation has changed, they're doing everything. So what they're doing is they're taking their aerobic activity like in dance, and they're transferring it to the gym, which is a totally different type of activity and a different relationship to their body. So if they were doing 1,000 movements in dance, now they're going to the gym and they're doing 1,000 movements for their legs. That means many different exercises. So they have no conception of why they're really there, because the gym allows you an opportunity to strengthen your nervous system, to relieve stress, and to actually build a symmetrical body. That means if your legs are overpowering your upper body, then you need to balance it out. You need to reduce the legs and build the upper body so it matches the legs. It's called symmetry. But I don't see that happening in the gym. The phenomenon is when women can lift that type of weight or make that increase, the phenomenon is they go quiet. There's nobody screaming at them. There's nobody yelling at them. But when they realize they have this ability, they go instantly quiet. It's like the greatest aha moment for them. Like they just got like the gold medal.
But after I took that program, it gave me suddenly a quietness in the mind, clarity. That was the first thing. And
when we can get a woman to really chest press a considerable amount of weight, then these emotions get released. You see, we can release emotions with the weights because the weight, it has such an impact when it's done in balance. So that's why, for example, the chest press exercise is very important in our program. Now, we never do it, at least not in the beginning, never do it on a flat bench, because we want to be in control. Now, if you fall back like this, you might experience fear, a feeling of being out of control. So we always put the person on an incline bench first. And we make sure that the angles, like of the seat, is on an angle so that the body is really safe and protected.
Like a cocoon in a way, yeah.
You see, and then we go and we do the chest press in a certain way. Now,
because the body needs it, like you said, the body needs to feel safe.
Yes, when we get a woman to actually press a certain amount of weight. Now, you go to the gym and you see the women, especially in our generation, unless they are the gals, that are kicking it in the gym. The women in our generation, they think they can do 5 pounds and that they're going to get any result as a result of this. You gotta be at least at 25 pounds to feel anything, to get anything. I chest press 35 pounds dumbbells. Okay. Now understand that I couldn't lift anything when I started 10 years ago. I was so injured. You know what I mean? Like a leg press. You see, everything has to be in proportion. The leg press, for example, a woman has to leg press 300 pounds once a week to generate that strength. But that's where the emotion starts releasing. I see it in the gym. I see it when I work with clients.
You know, you save a lot of money on psychotherapy, I can tell you that much. People should go work out just for that release alone. Forget looking good. Like you said, the byproduct is looking good. Like, you not only release all your emotional suppressed and repressed feelings over the years, but you also look great afterwards. I mean, it's like a 1-2 punch here.
You have the experience of feeling comfortable with every single exercise, and not only that, but it's maximized so that you are working super efficiently. And then, so you're actually gaining tremendous strength with no strain or stress. And that creates new circuitry in the brain, which teaches you to feel your feelings, feel your body, and it actually builds the connection of the right brain, which is what women need to do.
Exactly. But first, let's see what a healthy woman might look like. She takes care of her body. That's female. Love herself first. Learns to say no. Big one. Looks inside, not outside. And learn to receive more than to give. As women, we're receivers. Naturally, physiologically, we are receivers, but we're so much in the doing that we lose that, and then we wonder why we get sick.
And it seems to be that if a woman finds herself in their head all the time, they're not connecting to their emotional body. So you're saying it's different for men. And we'll get back to women here in a second, but it's different. Okay. You're saying it's different for men because they're not so tied to their emotions as a woman is. Is that you kind of implying?
Okay. When you're younger, it's ego. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you're talking in your late 40s, 50s, 60s, the hormones change in the body and you're producing less testosterone. When you're a male, your testosterone level goes down and you need to replace it by muscle mass. When men's strength goes down, they become passive aggressive. They live in a fantasy world like I used to be. They don't understand that if they can increase their muscle mass, the testosterone level, which is very helpful with testicular cancer, medical diseases that could be preventive by raising your strength level, they become what we consider passive aggressive.
The warning signs for a man is he starts caring more about his own feelings before his partners. He has selective hearing. He avoids responsibilities, doesn't follow through, has anger outbursts, lack of self-worth, depression. He blames others and he becomes passive aggressive. This weakens his immune system, leading to a loss in physical strength, muscle and bone density loss, prostate problems, hormonal imbalances, leading to mood disorder, anxiety, stress, depression, and potentially erectile dysfunction.
So working out is actually a feminine experience. Anytime a man takes care of himself, he's combing his hair, he's cutting, let's say, his mustache, whatever it is that he's putting on his clothes, that's feminine. So men don't look at going to the gym as a feminine experience. So they're still working from an ego point of view of trying to do more than they can at the moment. So we call them their used to be. They can't really use the weight that they're supposed to. So they distort their posture in trying to lift the weight more. But it's not significant enough to really be positive.
Right.
So because a man is using his feminine energy, when he's younger, it's a little bit different because everything works. But when you're in your 40s or 50s and your hormones are changing and you're producing less testosterone or male qualities, You're in your female. So 8 out of 10 men don't have a solid business plan of what to do in the gym. They're always going to gym, and they're not concerned how they look. They're interested in putting as much muscle on their body as possible. So it's kind of like painting a car and the frame is all bent. So when I personally go to the gym, when I see men in their 40s, especially in their 50s and their 60s, I don't see anybody smiling. They're on the wrong machine, frowning and making faces and hurting their body because they don't know how to adjust through the years or the ages. Okay, there's a way of entering the body where you can balance out your hormones. And in prescription strength training, we teach men never do anything that feels uncomfortable. It's the power of the program that gets them the result. So they need to be more brain-muscle connection. They need to know how to get into a machine and biomechanically adjust their body so it's very comfortable to the movement of the exercise.
Right.
Here's what I'm feeling. When I do it properly, it's like I wouldn't say it's easier. It's not. It's just like it's more natural. My body. So I don't know how to say it. It's not like I can still feel the weight, but it's like the motion is just the right motion. You know, I feel like my body. It's almost like I'm dancing with the weights. That's the best way of saying it. I'm dancing with the weights when I do it properly.
Feminine. The body design program creates an exquisite energy, an exquisite time in your life that you can hang out with yourself and increase muscle tissue, raise your testosterone level, and the world will be completely different. And in that way, you won't be passive aggressive, and you'll be able to offer women a lot of gifts. Because I know men like women who think that the feminine side of the woman is feeling and saying what she doesn't want. And women don't understand that those are her safety factors.
What you're saying is that if you want to have longevity, if you want to have balance and symmetry, if you want to look like Leonardo da Vinci's sketch of the ideal human body, then there's a certain way that you need to go about doing this. And that's not running around the gym and throwing weights around or trying to be the best He-Man there. That there's actual steps and a process that needs to be followed in a logical order to balance out the body, one part balanced to the other. So what you're saying then is, so that's really why we start off with the exercises you have people, which is really strengthening the lower body so that you're well grounded, so you have the strength to carry your upper body. Am I getting this right? Is that
very good? Yes.
So that's what you're teaching people is even each other exercise. So for the 45 minutes in the gym, you're going to come out a much more robust human being because you're building on the last time you're in the gym. And over time, you're going to have symmetry in your body. You're going to have a strong neuromuscular system. You'll be able to counteract viruses and diseases and influences like that. You'll be able to have a higher metabolism rate. You'll be able to digest your food properly. You'll have a better sex drive. You'll look 10, 15 years younger. So these are all byproducts in the gym that if you use a prescription and you're aware and you're not being Mr. Super Guy, but focused on why you're there, you're going to get incredible results. That's exciting to me. I mean, I never understood this at all when I was in the gym when I was 21. I just thought we just threw weights around. So the fact that I could just use, do press with 120 pounds to warm up, to me was just the best thing in the world. I had no idea what I was doing, right? None whatsoever. Okay. So people listening to this is a whole prescription. This is really a way to get in touch with your body in a new way, which helps you really build on what you have, but also to bring, like Stephen says, the symmetry into the body. So, Stephen, that was a great explanation. It really helped me understand the difference between the yin and the yang, how women would approach things in the gym compared to the men.
And in closing, I would say is that to be successful, you only have to work out once a week for about 40 minutes, maximum 3 times if you're as you go along in life. But you can go to the gym on a program and be in and out of the gym within 40 minutes. You can't beat that, and that strength or those good feelings will last you for 2 or 3 weeks. So you can go on vacation, come back, go in the driveway, take your beautiful car for a run, and you can have a really great time with yourself. So the answer is strength training is your #1 tool to grow younger.
We're coming to the end of our show, so you don't have to wait. Schedule a strategy session now by simply contacting us through strategy.drfitnessusa.com and begin your transformation today. Join us on Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube Live at Dr. Fitness USA, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at Wake Up Atlanta. I'm Batista at drfitnessusa.com. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye and have a blessed day.